The Stratford Rex opened on Stratford High Street in 1896, originally as a theatre and opera house. It was remodelled in 1933 as the Rex Cinema, which closed in 1969. After a short period as a bingo hall, the building returned briefly to cinema use in the mid-1970s and then operated through the 1980s as the Ace Cinema, also hosting reggae nights. A fire in 1975 left large parts of the building disused, and for over 20 years it stood semi-derelict at the heart of Stratford. In 1996, local promoter and one of UK rave's unsung heroes, Kenny Sting King, with partners Alan Harris and Malcolm Campbell, led efforts to restore the venue, investing heavily to reopen it as a large-capacity entertainment space, later known as Stratford Rex. From the late 1990s through the 2000s, Stratford Rex became one of East London's most important cultural spaces. It staged reggae greats such as Gregory Isaacs, John Holt, Coco T, Buju Banton and Capleton, and attracted international touring acts including Foo Fighters, Queens of the Stone Age, Shellac, Fugazi and The Prodigy. Stratford Rex was central to London's rave, jungle, garage, bashment and grime scenes. Legendary club nights filled its 2,500 capacity hall and provided a launch pad for grime crews such as Pay As You Go, Nasty Crew and Roll Deep. Dizzy Rascal's performance here is often cited as pivotal in his signing to XL Recordings. Despite closures in 2007, 2009 and 2012, the Rex remains remembered as a landmark venue where Stratford High Street met global touring circuits and the cutting edge of British reggae, rave and grime. In 2025, it was announced that the building had been acquired by the Colombo Group, who planned to reopen it as the Jazz Café Stratford, marking a new chapter in its long history.
I left the Wax Club and went to the Stratford Rex. I had a couple of partners down there. They had already acquired the building when I got there from Newham Council. The Rex itself was derelict. So when I tell you derelict, so all the seats were dead. There was no stage in there. The whole place basically had to be completely refurbed. It costs about 1.2 million to refurb the Rex. It was very, very costly. You got to remember, we're talking 95, 96. It was a real, true labour of love.
It became one of these sort of independent venues for communities, which was a little bit off the radar. So when you'd look at Time Out, it wouldn't necessarily give you the listings at Stratford Rex, but you'd have to find out through word of mouth or going there or picking up flyers at the reception. So their main thing was, at the time, big R&B gigs. They'd have the African community events, and it was like this extravaganza. I went to a couple of them and it was kind of joyful chaos, really. It was great atmosphere in there.
We performed in Stratford Rex. Dizzy told Russ Squad that they could perform there, and I was with them. So I think we went on, all sprayed out like the most famous lyric, like got some crowd reaction, crowd response, felt good.
Stratford Rex, this place on the corner that used to be a cinema, like it was now like known as the place to be if you was a dancehall or reggae act. If you wasn't booked in London and you wasn't at Stratford Rex, then it was like, okay, you're not quite in the big league. It's crazy, especially when you get to go from one of the smaller rooms onto the actual main stage, and then looking into it is crazy. And the way it was set up is that you're on the stage and you've got everyone there at the bottom, but then it used to go up and there was a few steps, and then there was like a middle section where people, when it is really around that, people go up there just so they can see over the crowds. Then also you had the auditorium at the top as well. So when we had a run night, it was really good to look at. It was just amazing. And the place was just so big. It just seemed like it was massive. It's just off having Shaggy in the Rex. It was like, Shaggy is Stratford Rex. Like, it was crazy. And at the time, it was just surreal. But in the time, we was just in the moment. And it's like, afterwards, you look at it, it's like, we had some real A-listers come up in this place.